All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Ooh, there we go. Okay. We are getting everything together here. Close this out now. There we go. Excellent. All right. Test, 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 test. All right, we've got audio going. Good, 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 good. I just need to do one other thing in the other room. Beep, beep, beep. Maybe I'll put the electro swing back on for you there. Cool. While I go and do one thing really quickly. Don't worry about that. There we go. Let's go. Media. Open recent. So there we go. Random spot. All right. Enjoy some music for a second. Okay, we are back in business. All right, let's get rid of that. Hello. 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 Welcome to chapter 3 of The Hobbit. It's been a little bit since chapter 2, but it's okay. We have the dog chewing on a chew toy over there in the corner. We got our drink over here. We'll see what happens with dog. There might be some interruptions later. We'll find out. At any rate, let us begin. Okay. Oh, wait. 1 second. Just need to check one thing. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right, let's go. Chapter 3, A Short Rest. They did not sing or tell stories that day, even though the weather had improved, nor the next day, nor the day after. They had begun to feel that danger was not far away on either side. They camped under the stars, and their horses had more to eat than they had, for there was plenty of grass, but there was not much in their bags. even with what they got from the trolls. One morning, they forded a river at a wide, shallow place full of the noise of stones and foam. The far bank was steep and slippery. When they got to the top of it, leading their ponies, they saw that the great mountains had marched down very near to them. Already they seemed only a day's easy journey from the foot of the nearest. Dark and drear it looked, as though there were patches of sunlight, on its brown slopes, and behind its shoulders, the tips of snow peaks gleamed. "Is that the mountain?" asked Bilbo in a solemn voice, looking at it with round eyes. He had never seen a thing that looked so big before. "Of course not," said Balin. "That's only the beginning of the Misty Mountains, and we have to get through or over or under those somehow before we can come to the wildlands beyond. And it's a deal of a way even from the other side of them to Lonely Mountain in the east where Smog lies in our treasure." "Oh," said Bilbo, and just at that moment he felt more tired than he ever remembered feeling before. He was thinking once again of his comfortable chair before the fire in his favorite sitting room in his hobbit hole, and of the kettle singing. Not for the last time. Now Gandalf led the way. "We must not miss the road, or we shall be done for," he said. "We need food, for one thing, and rest in a reasonable safety. Also, it is very necessary to tackle the Misty Mountains by the proper path, or else you will get lost in them and have to come back and start at the beginning if you ever get back at all." They asked him where he was making for, and he answered, "You're come to the very edge of the wild, as some of you may know. Hidden somewhere ahead of us is the fair valley of Rivendell, where Elrond lives in the last homely house. I sent a message by my friends, and we are expected." That sounded nice and comforting, but they had not got there yet, and it was not so easy as it sounds to find the last homely house west of the mountains. There seemed to be no trees and no valleys and no hills to break the ground in front of them, only one vast slope going slowly up and up to meet the feet of the nearest mountain, a wide land the color of heather and crumbling rock, with patches and slashes of grass, green and moss green, showing where the water might be. Morning passed, afternoon came, but in all the silent waste there was no sign of any dwelling. They were growing anxious, for they saw now that the house might be hidden almost anywhere between them and the mountains. Then they came on unexpected valleys, narrow with steep sides that suddenly opened at their feet, and they looked down, surprised to see trees below them and running water at the bottom. There were gullies that they could almost leap over, but very deep with waterfalls in them. There were dark ravines that one could neither jump nor climb into. There were bogs, some of them green and pleasant places to look at, with flowers growing bright and tall, but a pony that walked there with a pack on its back would never come out again. It was indeed a much wilder land from the ford to the mountain than you ever would have guessed. Bilbo was astonished. The only path was marked with white stones. Some were small, others half covered with moss or heather. Altogether, it was very slow business following the track, even guided by Gandalf, who seemed to know his way about pretty well. His head and beard wagged this way and that as he looked for the stones, and they followed his lead, but they seemed no nearer to the end of the search when the day had gone by. When the day had begun to fail. Sorry, tea time had gone by, and it seemed supper time would do the same. There were moths fluttering about, and the light became very dim, for the moon had not risen. Bilbo's pony began to stumble over roots and stones. They came to the edge of a steep fall in the ground so suddenly that Gandalf's horse nearly slipped down the slope. "Here it is at last," he called out to the others. Uh, and the others gathered around him and looked over the edge. They saw a valley far below. They could hear the voice of hurrying water in a rock bed at the bottom. The scent of trees was in the air, and there was a light in the valley side across the water. Bilbo never forgot the way they slithered and slipped into the dusk down the steep zigzag path into the secret valley of Rivendell. The air grew warmer as they got lower, and the smell of the pine trees made him drowsy, so that every now and then he nodded and nearly fell off or bumped his nose on the pony's neck. Their spirits rose as they went down. The trees changed to beech and oak, and there was a comfortable feeling in the twilight. The last green had almost faded out of the grass, and when they came at length to an open glade not far above the banks of the stream. It smells like elves, thought Bilbo, and he looked up at the stars. They were burning bright and blue. Just then there came a burst of song like laughter in the trees. "Oh, what are you doing and where are you going? Your ponies need shoeing, the river is flowing, oh tra-la-la here in the valley. Oh, what are you seeking and where are you making? The faggots are reeking, the bannocks are baking, oh tra-la-la-la-lee, the valley is jolly, ha-ha. Oh, where are you going with beards all a-wagging, no knowing what brings Mr. Baggins and Balin and Dwalin down into the valley in June, ha-ha. Oh, will you be staying or will you be flying? Your ponies need straying, the daylight is dying. To fly would be folly, to stay would be jolly, to listen and hark to the dark to our tune, ha ha! So they laughed and sang in the trees, and pretty fair nonsense, I dare say you think it. Not that they would care, they would only laugh all the more if you told them so. They were elves, of course. Soon Bilbo caught a glimpse of them as the darkness deepened. He loved elves, so he seldom met them. But he was a little frightened of them, too. Dwarves didn't get on well with them, even decent enough dwarves like Thorin and his friends think of them as foolish, which is a very foolish thing to think, or get annoyed at them. For some elves tease them and laugh at them, and most of all at their beards. "Well, well," said a voice. "Just look, Bilbo the Hobbit on a pony, my dear, isn't it delicious? Most astonishing, wonderful!" Then they're off into another song, as ridiculous as the one I have written down in full. At last, one, a tall young fellow, came out of the trees and bowed to Gandalf and to Thorin. "Welcome to the valley," he said. "Thank you," said Thorin a bit gruffly, but Gandalf was already off his horse and amongst the elves, talking merrily with him. "You are a little out of your way," said the elf. "That is, if you are making for the only path across the water and to the house beyond, we will set you right." Potato, what are you chewing? Potato, stop that. Potato. All right, that's it. Ow, 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 ow. I'm at potato. Potato, 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 potato. Potato, potato, potato. I thought I heard him crunching on something that didn't sound like his chew toy. The descriptions are wonderful. And you could tell that this was originally he wrote this for his child. And it's got a very kind of childlike atmosphere to it that you don't see in like Lord of the Rings. Potato, can you stop chewing my backpack? 1 second. Potato. Potato. Oh. Come on. Hey. Stop it. Stop it. Lay down, buddy. He spent all day at the doggy daycare. And now he's up and around causing chaos again. I was really hoping he would crash out. Where's he going? Okay. All right. Oh. Hi, Potato. What you doing there, buddy? You gonna quit causing problems? No. Yeah, I didn't think so. The ears are so cute. Potato, what if you lay down? Would you want to lay down? Yeah, do you want to come and lay down? You must be so tired. You were jumping around all day. Like, he was there almost 8 hours. And he still has energy. Doug, you wanna chill? You wanna lay down? I'm afraid to start again because he'll just kick back up. Let's see what he does. No, you can't chew on the no chewing on the wires. Whoa. You want to chew on this? He only wants to chew on the things that get him attention. Of course. Potato. Can we lay down? Where you go lay down? Where you go lay down, buddy? You can come over here and lay down with me if you want. You want to come lay down where I'm sitting? You want to stream with me, Potato? What are you up to? He has yet to decide what chaos he's going to cause. I'm sure it's something. Definitely elves in the house. Oh, Bubby. You got this guy? Yeah. Just gonna move these things away, okay? Those are not temptations for you. Okay? Alright, there we go. Oh boy. Okay, well. I guess we can try starting back up again. Okay. Okay. Let's try getting back into this and seeing if we can do so without the dog deciding to spontaneously chew through our power cord. All right, the elf appears to be laying down and possibly going to sleep. Okay. Okay, where were we? You are a little out of your way, said the elf. That is, if you are making for the only path across the water to the house beyond, we will set you aright. But you had best be on foot until you are over the bridge. Are you going to stay a bit and sing with us, or will you go straight on? Supper is being prepared over there, he said. I can smell the wood fires for the cooking. Tired as he was, Bilbo would have liked to stay for a while. Elvish singing is not a thing to miss in June under the stars, not if you care for such things. And he would have liked to have a few private words with these people that seemed to know his name and all about him, although he had never seen them before. He thought their opinions of his adventure might be interesting. Elves know a lot and are a wondrous folk for news, and know what is going on among people of the land as quick as water flows or quicker. But the dwarves were all for supper as soon as possible just then, and would not stay. On they went, leading their ponies till they were brought to a good path, and so, at last, onto the very brink of the river. It was flowing fast and noisily as the mountain streams do of a summer evening when the sun has been all day on the snow far above. There was only a narrow bridge of stone without a parapet, as narrow as a pony could well walk on. And over they had to go, slow and careful, one by one, each leading his pony by the bridle. The elves had brought bright lanterns to the shore, and they sang a merry song as the party went across. Don't dip your beard in the foam, father, they cried to Thorin, who was bent almost on his hands and knees. This is long enough without watering it. Mind Bilbo doesn't eat all the cakes, they called. He is too fat to get through keyholes yet. Hush, hush, good people, and good night, said Gandalf, who came at last. Valleys have ears, and some elves have merry tongues. Good night. So at last, they all came to the last homely house and found its doors flung wide. Now it is a strange thing, but things that are good to have and days that are good to spend are soon told about and not much to listen to, while things that are uncomfortable, palpitating, and even gruesome may make a good tale and take a deal of telling. They stayed long in that good house. 14 days at last, at least. And they found it hard to leave. Bilbo would gladly have stopped there forever and ever, even supposing a wish could have taken him right back to his hobbit hole without trouble. Yet there is little to tell about their stay. The master of the house was an elf friend, one of those people whose fathers came into the strange stories before the beginning of history, the wars of the evil goblins and the elves and the first men of the north. In those days of our tale, there were still some people who had both elves and heroes of the north for ancestors, and Elrond, the master of the house, was their chief. He was noble and fair. He was as noble and as fair in face as an elf lord, as strong as a warrior, as wise as a wizard, as venerable as a king of dwarves, and as kind as summer. He comes into many tales, but his part in his story of Bilbo's great adventure is only a small one, though important, as you will see, if we ever get to the end of it. His house was perfect, whether you liked food or sleeping or work or storytelling or singing just uh, or just sitting and thinking best, or a pleasant mixture of them all. Evil things did not come into that valley. Wish I had time to tell you even a few of the tales or one or two of the songs they heard in that house. All of them, the ponies as well, grew refreshed and strong in a few days there. Their clothes were mended as well as their bruises, their tempers and their hopes. Their bags were filled with food and provisions, light to carry but strong to bring them over the mountain passes. Their plans were improved with the best advice. So the time came to Midsummer's Eve, and they were to go on again with the early sun on midsummer morning. Elrond knew all about runes of every kind. That day he looked at all their swords they had brought from the troll's lair, and he said, "These are not troll make. They are old swords, very old swords of the high elves of the west, my kin. They were made in Gondolin for the Goblin Wars. They must have come from a dragon's hoard or goblin plunder, for dragons and goblins destroyed that city many ages ago. This Thorin, the rune's name Orcrest, the Goblin Cleaver, in the ancient tongue of Gondolin, was a famous blade. This Gandalf was Glamdring, Bowhammer, that the king of Gondolin once wore. Keep them well." "Whence did the trolls get them, I wonder?" said Thorin, looking at his sword with new interest. "I could not say," said Elrond, "but one may guess that your trolls had plundered other plunderers, or come the remains of old robberies in some hold in the mountain. I've heard there still are forgotten treasures of old to be found in the deserted caverns of the mines of Moria since the Dwarf and Goblin War." Thorin pondered these words. "I will keep this sword in honor," he said, "and may it soon cleave goblins once again." "A wish that is likely to be granted soon enough in these mountains," said Elrond. "But show me now your map." He looked at it and gazed long at it, and he shook his head, for he did not altogether approve of the dwarves and their love of gold. He hated dragons and their cruel wickedness, and he grieved to remember the ruin of the town of Dale and its merry bells, and the burned banks of the bright river running. The moon was shining in a broad silver crescent. He held the map up to the white, and the white light shone through it. "What's this?" he said. "There are moonlitters here, beside the plain runes which say 5 feet high the door and 3 may walk abreast." What are moonlitters?" asked the hobbit, full of excitement. He loved maps, as I have told you before, and he also liked runes and letters and cunning handwriting, although he wrote himself a bit thin and spidery. "Moonlitters are rune letters, but you cannot see them," said Elrond, "not when you look straight at them. They can only be seen when the moon shines behind them, and what is more, with the more cunning sort, it must be the moon of the same shape and season as the day when they were written. The dwarves invented them and wrote them as silver pens, as your friends could tell you. These must have been written long ago on a midsummer's eve in a crescent moon." "What do they say?" asked Gandalf and Thorin together, a bit vexed perhaps that even Elrond should have found this out first, although they really had not had a chance before, and there would not be another one until goodness knows when. "Stand by the gray stone when the thrush knocks," read Elrond, "and the setting sun with the last light of Durin's day will shine upon the keyhole." Durin," said Thorin. "He was the father of the fathers of the eldest race of dwarves, the Longbeards, and my first ancestor. I am his heir." "And what is Durin's Day?" said Elrond. "The first day of the dwarves' new year," said Thorin. It is, as all should know, the first day of the last moon of autumn on the threshold of winter. We still call it Durin's Day when the last moon of autumn and the sun keep the sky together. But this will not help us much, I fear, for it passes our skill these days to guess when such a time will come again. That remains to be seen, said Gandalf. Is there any more writing? None to be seen by this moon, said Elrond, and he gave the map back to Thorin. Then they went down to the water to see the elves dance and sing on the Midsummer's Eve. The next morning was a Midsummer's morning, as fair and fresh as could be dreamed, blue sky and never a cloud, and the sun dancing on the water. And now they rode away amidst songs of farewell and good speed, and their hearts ready for more adventure, and with the knowledge of the road they must follow over the misty mountains to the lands beyond. Hello. Yeah, that's the end of the chapter. So they finished up with Elrond, and now they are about to proceed into the Misty Mountains. Over hill and under hill is chapter 4. And I believe chapter 4 is where we meet Gollum. So that's always an exciting character to have. I'll see if I could read Gollum fairly well, but let's see. How long is chapter 4? I think we'll keep it here. We'll try and do one chapter at a time. I think that's fair. We've been going for about half an hour, so in the interest of keeping my voice fresh, thank you for joining me in this very dispersed reading of The Hobbit. I will do my best to be a little more consistent with it. We are keeping fairly well to the Sunday morning paper, so we'll keep up with that. We're gonna hopefully finish up that paper next Sunday if we don't get to it in advance of that. Oh, well, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. That wasn't the best reading. I have to get back into the swing of things a little to read a little better, but I'll get there again. Anyway, thank you so much for showing up to chapter 3 of The Hobbit. Yeah, I remember this from a long time ago when I was a kid. At any rate, thank you again. We will continue this in the near future with chapter 4 as we progress towards Gollum. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you